The time came on the 10th day of the voyage, Tuesday at 11:45 a.m. At this time, in room 1014, it was the turn of the 5th Prince's compassionate guard Longji to enter the back room. Water arrow test. Shirikov looked at Longji's back and thought to himself, "Oh, it's finally your turn, that telepathic person hidden in the crowd. How will he act?" He pretended to be attacked by the specially made Kulapika and then awakened his telekinesis ability to fight back. Or just keep doing it in the room and expose your identity directly, if he is prepared to sacrifice himself to get rid of the 14th Prince. That would be great. Longji came to the table, suddenly spoke. "I don't need water arrow pose. I can already use my telekinesis ability. This leaves Kulapika and Bill really surprised." But Longji immediately continued to explain. The ability of wrinkled pure white snake before, not his. He will prove it next. And explain why you came to this room. Then Longji activated his telekinesis ability. "My ability is called Transparent Speech, is operational ability. By signing a realized contract, I can lend my abilities to others. You can also restrict the opponent's actions. Of course, voluntariness in signing the contract is an absolute condition. You cannot force the other party to sign. So please, after listening to all my explanations, you can decide whether to sign or not. You asked me to sign a contract. What is the content of the contract? Cooperate with the 5th Prince. However, the 5th Prince did not know about this ability. Even he doesn't know that I am a telepathic person. This contract is just for the smooth advancement of the real plan. This sounds quite complicated." After saying that, Kulapika started the ring finger hunting and pointed the gun at Longji. Next, he has to strictly determine whether Longji is lying. "I don't have time to play this imaginary game with you. If you are found to be lying, I will shoot without hesitation. Threats like yours are a waste of time. 22mm caliber gun. It can't cause fatal damage to a telepathic person like me. The constraints on my ability to read. It is necessary to first explain frankly to the other party. If it's just to sign a contract, then I only need to convey the contract content accurately. But for the real plan, I want to use my telekinesis ability to give you more power. Therefore, I must fully explain it clearly. Sign a contract with you. So what's the real plan? How to explain it? Let's start there. I'm actually Beyond Nitro's biological daughter." This sentence shocked the 3 people present for the second time. About 30 years ago, Beyonder first bribed the young senior soldiers of the Cajun Kingdom. Let them have fake marriages with other women. Let these Cajun country soldiers and couples come and raise Beyonder's flesh and blood. Such a Beyonder child can be sent to the Cajun Royal Military Academy as a matter of course. I am one of them, and there are many people like me. It is estimated that every time a new Cajun prince is born, Beyonder will repeat this operation. Our goal is to become Cajun royal soldiers, and became the most intimate demonstration of the princes. Most of us achieved the goal of Beyonder. We have awakened the power of mind since we were born. Of course, there are some exceptions. That's a very rare case. So for me, who has awakened my mind ability since I was a child, Cajun Army exam was not difficult for me. I didn't find out at first that my father was Beyonder. But one day I discovered that I should have had a characteristic of my adoptive father. But I didn't. After an in-depth conversation with him, I learned that Beyonder is my biological father. After learning about the existence of other siblings, I still think confusedly. Beyonder's true purpose. Maybe it's just his own flesh and blood. Become an important figure serving the next king. Was this the real plan? Yes, this was revealed to me by my adoptive parents, other half-siblings. Maybe you don't know your own life experience at all. Of course, I didn't know they had biological brothers and sisters. After knowing the truth of the matter, until this succession war begins, I just regard myself as just Cajun soldiers in a special family environment. Since I have memory, I have been living a boarding life, so I don't have much affection for my adoptive parents. Every time we meet, they always discuss Belanda's ambitious goals intensely, but considering that it follows the national policy of Cajun country to unify the world, I just think Beyonder used different methods. Familiar journey to the same destination, so I don't particularly doubt it. We are born chess pieces. As I said before, we have awakened the power of mind since we were born. Once a newborn awakens the ability to read, will instinctively avoid excessive fatigue, and quickly learn Zen and Ju. I started by enrolling in the Royal Military Academy. Even with conscious control of power, physical performance is still among the best. However, all this, it's actually a side effect of Beyonder's telekinesis attack. Beyonder put a curse on us. The reason why I discovered this, it's because he is supposed to be loyal to the second prince's half-sister Makaha. She had a question about something. The reason is that the second Prince Camilla upgraded the unknown to a private shooter. This made the second batch of graduates of the Royal Military Academy who could have become the private shooters of the second prince, including Makaha. They all lost the election. Makaha was very disappointed with the second prince's decision, but his parents acted calmly. This made him feel very uneasy. My parents talked about it so enthusiastically, realized the dream of unifying the world with Bayard, and continue to motivate children. However, when the child is released from the shooting plant, why are they so cold? So Makaha began a secret investigation. Finally, I was found in the same unit as the second princess. After a lifetime of warmth in life, we noticed a common mark on our bodies. Makaha and I hired a famous psychopath to see these imprints. The truth was revealed. We all carry it with us. It will be launched after we die. Powerful and evil thoughts. Please use your eyes to see my mark. Then Longji slowly began to open his mouth. At this time, from Longji's mouth, a huge eye can be seen. Thrawn, is this you? According to the explanation of the telepathic person, I am a powerful cursed word. That is, the person chosen to kill the target. A powerful thing like me is taboo, including me and Makaha. There are at least 10 more people, and there are even more people who failed to become powerful sacrifices, because the final number of princes cannot be determined. So BYAD prepared a large number of chess pieces at that time. It is said that this curse cannot be passed by simply cauterizing the surface, or remove the part to relieve it. He is the most powerful curse mark ever seen. We are cursed by Bayard. Not only must it be enforced, turning his body into a tool of curse. We became sacrifices, although we don't yet know what capabilities will be used in the future, and it's not clear who the target is. But what is certain is that this curse is to ensure that the target is completely killed. Delaying Kurapika for too long will arouse suspicion from outsiders, but we have to hear it all. Otherwise, we cannot reach a contract with the prince. Just like Makaha, who was loyal to the second prince, failed to become a private soldier in the end. We believe our goal is not simply to assign princes and serve them. In other words, becoming a prince's private soldier is not a necessary condition. Even military status is not required. Our life goals are exploited by cunning fathers. You don't know who the curse is targeting, but one thing is for sure. The target range must be the prince. Yes, although it's just a guess, but I'm sure it is. There are more than 10 people cursed with powerful sacrifices, and there are 14 princes. This is no coincidence, although we don't know who will curse which prince. But Bilinda had a strong will. I want to complete several multiplication battles, but the reality is, Bienda did not inform you of these so-called sacrifices. It means that Bienda holds the switch that activates the curse, or to increase the power of the curse. He left the starting power to fate. I prefer the latter. Bayard has penetrated deep into the core of the Castor Empire. Then Prince Yi successfully succeeds to the throne. More beneficial to him. A powerful curse requires victims. If this is the reason, hint to Prince Yi, he will be supported by the military, and holds the special martial law trump card. No, I don't think it's Prince Yi. After such a long preparation time, cunning and greedy father, I won't put in so much effort for Prince Yi. Who could that be? Yes, I think Bayard's children. Among these princes. As soon as these words came out, let the 3 people on the scene, shocked for the 3rd time. Is it really possible? The 8th princess. What conditions do princes need to meet to participate in the succession war? Must be the child of the king's legitimate wife. But as for who the father is, it seems impossible. Is this true? At this time, there was a knock on the door, because it took too long for Long Ji to enter the house. Hotel and Hasto, who were waiting at the door of the back room, felt something strange. They knocked on the door and asked if something happened inside. Kulapika went out and told everyone there was nothing strange. I'm just negotiating a cooperation treaty with the prince's guards. It will take longer, in order to avoid causing unnecessary suspicion. He will explain what happened to everyone later. Shurikov looked at Kulapika coming out and thought to himself, Kulapika's anger hasn't changed much. It shows that the gift is indeed in the normal negotiation stage. No fight occurred, but he should have noticed that woman. In his amnesia ability, and he might be a criminal who hurts everyone. After returning the gift, Kurapika continued to hold the gun and let Dragonstrike continue talking about the contract with the 5th prince. It is a peace agreement with the 14th prince and the 8th princess. The princes, princesses, and soldiers of both sides. Neither can interfere with or attack the other party. The deadline is next Sunday at 9 a.m. During this period, the guards of the 5th prince must stay in room 1014. If this condition is met, the contract will be automatically extended for 1 week. If you violate this contract, my ability will take effect. The punishment is to give you 1 week of mandatory abstinence. The 1 week compulsion is indeed quite powerful, but the definition of attack is a bit vague. Actions such as treatment and assistance. Will it also be considered an attack in telekinesis? If so, my abilities would also be considered offensive, but unless there is clear intent to harm us. Otherwise, the 5th prince will not unilaterally terminate the contract. and I will never judge and activate abilities at will. The prerequisite for my ability is exit in the fifth prince, or until there are only 2 princes left, find beyondest child. If it is finally discovered that the prince is no beyondest children, also considered completed, ability activation, reward activation, even if the above-mentioned prerequisites for granting, or the contract with the fifth prince will be terminated. If you continue to investigate and satisfy the granting conditions, I am willing to re-sign a personal contract and give you rewards. The reward is that you can use this ability of mine once. This condition is good, although there are some restrictions, but it depends on the object. The effect can be powerful. The compulsory formula is much better than the risk of my ability. The chain didn't move at all. He didn't lie. Finally, I want to tell you the real plan now. After listening, you can decide whether to sign. My real plan now. If the father's children are among these princes, I will deal with him personally. Okay, the 3 people present were shocked for the 4th time. If my father had confessed everything to me, even though my role is exactly the same as it is now, I won't make such a determination either. The door to the back room finally opened. Everyone outside the door saw Karapika and others walking out of the room. Shukov was a little surprised. No trace of being hit. The possibility of fighting with telekinesis is also low. Very calm. Already explained everything. That is to say, it's really a negotiation. There's nothing unnatural about Kurapika's explanation. But that woman is crying. What happened inside? View from Karapika. Her anger was slightly different from before, although extremely subtle. But I can't tell whether it was caused by his change in mental state. Still under the influence of Longji. If it was Longji's attack, that may be an attack that needs to be carried out gradually, or powerful telekinesis ability that can be exerted according to conditions. Unable to determine at the moment. But if that's the case, at the same time, both Bill and Karapika must be placed under conditions, is quite difficult. This also means that the reasoning that Longji is the assassin is wrong. Could it be that the negotiations were carried out through crying outside of the ability to read? There is not enough evidence for any speculation. Can't even decide if it's worth exploring further. These guys are really hard to deal with. I've kept you waiting for so long. We were just talking about the peace agreement with the fifth prince. In simple terms, both sides take a positive attitude towards the agreement, but the conditions are inconsistent. How much of the agreement will be shared with you? I don't agree with the opinion either. Saying that, Kulapika invited the escort of the third Prince Cholai. Talented Tory entering gift. No, it's impossible that the agreement has been signed, right? This is just a way to balance the relationship with the third prince and the fifth prince. Then, finally, it's the third prince's turn to be the private soldier. Talent escape. We will discuss the current issues later. However, I can learn about the situation inside from the third prince's private troops. The 14th prince is currently safe, even if I say they are conspiring. Request to stop telekinesis training or disclosure of information. There is no basis. I can't even take it to court. On the contrary, it can make their group more united. Shurikov said to Barbima beside him, "To be honest, I really want to apply for a new position now. Don't you think? What's wrong with you?" Nothing. Then the scene came to Bianda's cell. "Can you get me a new book?"
No replacement.
"Read it again or write your own novel." "What a good idea. Then give me a pen and paper. We can't give it to you for safety reasons. Don't you have a beard and blood? Use these two as pen and ink. Is this book in my hand also for safety reasons? To be honest, if I want, this book can also be used to blow your head off." "Okay, got it. So scary. Scared me. Are there any other requirements? Just say it. Just talking. You are so interesting. What to say? I want to meet someone. Can you bring him? This time is the 10th day. Tuesday at 2 p.m. Who does Bienda want to see? Unknown mysteries continue to shroud Black Gold One.